Hey gang, we all know Spotify has become the ultimate app destination for music lovers. I have an account and I love it. I find new music by following Tastemaker playlists, and I make my own playlist that I share featuring music from guests that have been on the show. But did you know that aside from millions of songs, Spotify now has all of your favorite podcasts, including How Did I Get Here? Yes, all of your podcasts are available on Spotify. Just go to Spotify.com or download the app from your app store, and don't forget to follow How Did I Get Here? That's Spotify. Millions of songs, thousands of podcasts. Let's get down. Attention musicians of all levels. It's not always easy picking out a song by ear. Sometimes you need a little help. Well, I have the app for you. Whether you're a professional musician or a beginner, Ultimate Guitar is an amazing app. For just $2.99, you get the chords and tabs on guitar, bass, or ukulele for over 1 million songs. They're all available at your fingertips. You also get tools like a tuner, metronome, chord library, lessons, videos, and more. You can find out any song you want. It also has like transpose button. It has auto scroll that you can change the speed to so you can play along with the song. A lot of the songs have the lyrics there so you can sing along with them. Ultimate Guitar is an amazing app. Just go to ultimateguitar.com or download the app to your phone today and start playing. Start playing any song you want. Ultimate Guitar, that's the place for you. Let's get down.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
It's time for How Did I Get Here? And now here is your host, Johnny.
When we talked,
All right. Hello, I'm Johnny. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys all had a good week, whatever it is you're doing this week, or having a good week. What is this? I don't even know what day it is anymore. You know what I mean? That's what happens is you just start going, and then you're going, and you're like, I had a busy week. Okay, so I had like a little birthday gathering on Wednesday night. Thursday night, played a show. Friday night, played a show in San Antonio. Drove back after the show. Ran a bunch of errands, and then flew to San Jose, California to meet my girlfriend's family for the first time. And that was great. We hung out with her mom Saturday night. Sunday, we got up. We went to a dispensary. Yeah, we went to a dispensary on Sunday morning because I wanted to. I was like, yeah, I want to go check one out. That's cool. You know, I like weed. I want to go to a place that's legal, like a weed store, and get some weed stuff. So anyway, I did. It's pretty funny when you go in there and you're not like from there. It's there's like a knowledgeable guy behind the counter, like, oh, well, you want to get the indica or the sativa on the thing in here. So we got these banana flowers, great. All this stuff, like all kinds of candy, all kinds of CBD stuff. Anyway, I ended up getting some gummies and a little tiny thing of weed, like to roll a joint. So we were going to my girlfriend's cousin's house. And I know her cousin Chris. I've met him before, but I hadn't met anyone else. I'd met him before, and I was like, oh, he'll want to smoke some of this weed. Maybe he's got some papers. She's like, of course he does. So we go over there. It's a great time. Her family's insane, like really, really, like legitimately insane, but in the best way possible, kind of almost exactly like mine is. Like everyone's like this crazy character. People are super outspoken. They're loud. They're emotional, and I felt right at home with these people. Seriously, she's got like this aunt that made me like double over with laughter. It's like got the most character of anyone I've ever met. She is hilarious. Then she's married to this dude that's like, if you were looking to cast like an old guy for your mafia movie, this dude was like, he was like wearing a vest and like a hat, like a mafia dude hat, had a mafia dude face, and was holding a little dog. It was insane, man. Anyway, I had a blast at the thing. So check this out. So the weed that I brought for cousin Chris, he's like, oh, here, man, here's some papers. Roll this joint. So I roll this joint, and then someone gets up to leave, and I'm like, oh, hey, man, goodbye, nice seeing you. But while I'm doing that, someone's cleaning up. They threw away the weed, so I don't even know what it tasted like. So, but I had such a great time. Had a great time with my girlfriend's mom. We drove around on Monday, showed me Silicon Valley. She lives right in like the eBay, like she lives in eBay. I know that sounds weird to say, but the eBay buildings are all around this little neighborhood of condos. And she lives in one of those condos, and most of the people that live there are eBay people. And it's like surrounded by eBay buildings. So she literally lives in like eBay. Totally insane. But I had a blast. I had a real blast. Flying's a real drag these days, man. You know, look, you got to wear the mask, but it's still a drag wearing it. Like when we flew out there, we had a connecting flight in Denver. So it was kind of a long flying day. About 8 hours of like dealing with the thing. But the whole time you got to wear a mask. And the longest I really wear a mask for an extended period is at skyrocket rehearsals, which is 3 hours. That's the longest really I've ever worn a mask. Now, wearing one for 8 hours is really a whole different scene. It's a real drag. You know, my Terry, my girlfriend's face, she was getting irritated. Mine wasn't getting irritated. I was just getting irritated. It makes my nose all stopped up. But it was really worth it, and it was so much fun. I really had such a blast. I slept completely differently there than I have over the last few months. I was sleeping 9 hours a night. Just really, yeah, it was great. I had a great time. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're out there doing stuff. It's really gorgeous. It's nice to get back to Austin and have cooler weather and beautiful sunshine. Took my dog to the dog park today. I missed her while we were gone. We both did. Our friend Allie stayed with her and sent us pictures the whole time. She was having a blast. She had a friend to play with the whole time. I took her to the dog park today. She's still kind of I feel like the dog park might be too much. It's overwhelming. There's a dog park here on Riverside. It has shitload. It's huge. A couple acres, right? And it's all fenced in. And there's a lot of dogs there. I think it might be too many dogs for her to really get into. Also, so much dog pee to smell. Because dogs are just peeing there, thousands of dogs. The piss of 20,000 dogs, probably. Jesus. Anyway, so it's good to be back in Rosie's arms. Love Rosie. Love that, Rosie. Gang, I have a great show for you today. Sometimes I help you get to know an artist you already know and you like. But sometimes I introduce you to a new artist or a newish artist, someone you might not have heard of before. But this person is great. It's this is one you'd file under almost like a Blondie, Devo, Talking Heads, Laurie Anderson, really thoughtful, crazy pop music that's kind of done in askew. You know what I mean? It's a little askew. ELKE is the indie art project of Nashville-based musician and model Kayla Graninger. This is her first full-length album, her debut full-length album, No Pain for Us Here, just came out in September. It was produced by Zach Farrow of Paramore. She has a couple of other EPs out, Current Condition and Bad Metaphors, but she has a bunch of videos for the songs off No Pain for Us Here. There's No Pain. There's the pink tip of a match burns black, Vacuum, and a song that I will play for you called I Can Help. ELKE is a really, really interesting lady. She's had a very interesting life so far, and she's still pretty young. Great conversation. She's hilarious. We have a lot of laughs. She was talking to me from Nashville, and hopefully she'll get out there and start playing shows, because I really think that what she's doing is really innovative and really great. And I hope that you enjoy me introducing you to a brand new artist. This is Kayla Graninger, who goes under the name ELKE. Let's get down. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Yeah.
The weather's been good. Releasing the album has been exciting.
I bet. It is such a great fucking album. Sorry to drop F-bombs, but I do. It's amazing. It's really... do people ever talk to you, compare you to Nico in any way?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's that vibe is there, and when you sing in a lower register, it totally reminds me of that. Not like a rip-off thing, but it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely my one of my first idols when I was a kid, except for Britney Spears. But I listened to her a lot at younger years before I was writing music, so I'm sure that has something to do with it.
How did you hear her when you were young?
Photography class. I sat next to someone who we had computers in that class, and YouTube was, a fresh thing. And he showed me Radiohead and Miko and some other good stuff too. It was very influential.
That's
class.
awesome. Yeah. Have you ever heard Marlene Dietrich sing?
No.
Oh.
No.
She was a like a 30s, 40s lady, but you should check her out. She was German, I think.
Ah, cool.
But she also had a real sultry and like low voice, like that.
Woohoo! Really love it.
So are you in Nashville?
Mm-hmm.
You live there now?
Yes.
When did you move there?
Like a year ago, mainly because of the pandemic.
It was going to be better for you in Nashville than in New York City?
Yeah. Well, I was in New York for, 9 years, and then my partner and I moved to LA, just for like a fresh start for the both of us, because he was living here, and, we just wanted some more space, and there's a house here that we could stay at, and it just ended up working out that way.
Yeah. So, where are you from though?
Growing up, I moved around a lot. But if I were to pick one, I'd say Illinois.
Okay.
I was there for like middle school and, definitive years. But we moved to Vegas for a bit and Pittsburgh. I went to a boarding school. So hodgepodge.
Were you like sent to boarding school?
Yes.
Because you did something?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
My brother did. So I did one bad thing, and my parents were like, "You're going."
Wow, that was military school used to be hung over my head a little bit by my dad.
Oh,
I
no way!
I never had to go. I did have to go to an all boys Catholic school in high school, but I didn't have to go for a whole year. But that's as far as they. But I do know that sort of.
Yeah, they like how there's like the first step is this, and the next like gets worse.
So what was boarding school like?
It was really cool. It was in the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's like randomly a boarding school where NBA players get picked. So lots of tall people.
You're tall.
It was really. I am tall. That was my first question.
Yeah.
When I went there.
Is that how you got in?
Yeah, exactly.
We got a tall daughter. She's done one bad thing. We need to send her to this place with other tall people.
Yeah, exactly. She'll fit in.
Before I get into your whole life thing, though, I want to talk a little bit about this record. It's called "No Pain for Us Here." Did you write that during the pandemic? Did you record it during the pandemic? What happened?
No, I started that in October of 2019. Right? Yes. And I pretty much finished writing all the lyrics before the pandemic hit. I think maybe I Can Help was on the later end of that, but no. So we recorded everything in LA when we were living there.
Okay.
Had a bunch of friends come by and play on it, and then by pandemic time, we came back here and just tracked some stuff that we wanted to be added or replaced. But the bones of the song were pretty much already finished.
Okay. And that's Zach Farrow.
Yes,
Farrow, sorry.
Okay.
How do you say your last name?
Graninger.
Okay. I didn't know if it was an Inger or something. Sometimes that can be in there. So you and Zach, you moved to Nashville together?
Yes.
So you are an item. Are you together?
Yes.
Okay.
We're an item. I get it. I was like,
Yeah.
I like that.
Maybe that's an antiquated term now. An item.
Maybe. I like it.
Even better. All right. So you wrote the songs and then he produced the record.
Correct.
Okay. How do you write? What's your instrument of choice? What do you do?
I usually just start with lyrics and kind of build the melodies from the words on the paper. Especially with this one, because I was really in the state of like Dr. Seuss-esque rhythms. And like by writing, I was kind of like tying things together by like being like, Humpty Dumpty sat on a, like I would like kind of do that first and then figure out what chords and whatnot would sound good with it. And I would just pick up a guitar because it's the my comfortable instrument.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
else, like, I could play piano, but like these chords,
Yeah.
where you just do, that's the only thing I could do. So, yeah, that's how those all came together.
So you have like a little like voice memo of you playing the song? Because I was thinking about like rhythmically, the record is really, really cool. Like outside of just the songs, like there's an underlying. So do you come in with that rhythm, or is that one of Zach's
Rhythm-wise,
things?
definitely Zach.
Okay.
I mean, like if you're talking about like percussion, and because I just basically would have chords and melody and lyrics, but a lot of the rhythm on this record is hands down Zach, just because he's he's been a drummer since he was a kid.
Yeah.
It's like very, very ingrained in him, and he carries that through a lot of the instruments that he plays. And he played a lot on this record. He played a lot of the bass and a lot of the guitar. So it was on top of like, you know, kind of already me thinking kind of rhythmically on my own with the lyrics. He just amplified it times a million.
Yeah. Well, you guys you did a really phenomenal job. And like the videos are really great. And
Yeah,
and your
for sure.
your lyrics, like that song Vacuum, it's so weird lyrically.
I love that.
Yeah, it is. It's just weird. Like I played it for my girlfriend yesterday, and I was like, listen to this, listen to this song. It's fucking brilliant, but it is weird. Yeah.
Thanks.
Are you like a creative writer outside of just writing music? Like, do you journal and do you do stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, not so much within the past like 5 years, but definitely growing up, I did it a lot. And I kind of write poems, but I struggle. I have this thing where I can't write a poem without adding a rhythm to it, and then I get frustrated because I just want it to be like something that you can read. I really like poems that when you just kind of read them, they tell you something without there having to be a rhyme to attach you to it. And that's even something with writing that I've been trying to, I don't want to rely so much on rhyming and rhythm and or like regular song structural, you know, ways of doing that. So I have my own relationship with poems and my own struggle with that, and my own struggle with lyrics for that same reason. But sorry that it's so dark, by the way. I don't know how to change that.
Doesn't sound like you struggle with lyrics. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot going on, and you know, you're a pretty intuitive and intelligent person that's able to say things in an oddly poetic way, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, the struggle is more so like I feel I'm very confident in that department, just because it's something that I've worked so hard on. But the struggle is more so always trying to make it perfect, because I kind of have, you know, my own standards. So yeah, I mean, I rewrote a lot of those songs so many times. I think that's just kind of how I can find a place where I really put in the work and feel happy with it. But with Vacuum, that started because I really liked the way that Apartment Floor sounded with you have Apart from the Door, Apartment Floor.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a pick. That was like the first kind of rhyme, and from there I kind of like got to realize what that song was about. And yeah, I was just like reading a book about a cleaner. Like, she cleans homes for a living, and that was on my mind, and was able to frame it around some relationships that I had that have just been like, man, I wish I could get through to certain people, but I guess you can't, and so you move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Relationships are weird. Also,
Yeah.
even
Very
good ones.
true.
They all are.
Yeah.
All right. So, the video for "I Can Help," I love that video.
Ah, cool. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
and I have a really great, talented friend. She's an amazing, she's a modern dance person. So she has this really, she can move in all of these really interesting ways. And she also seems to have a similar sense of humor that you do in that video. Like, you know,
Yeah.
there's just something like overly smiley and like,
For sure.
yeah. Tell me a little bit about that song.
Well, kind of like I was telling you before, that song was especially written to be rhythmic. And it flowed out unlike any other song on the record. It just like, I kind of said one thing and it led to another, and then the song was done.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have enough time to really like, get into detail what I was even writing about. I was just kind of like, I've just had so many like laughs about, taking your phone to the repairman and then being like, oh, that little sticker on it changed the color. So we know you got it wet. So you can't, like I've just like been through so many, situations like that in my life. So it just kind of was like, I was really just trying to have a laugh and, not, try and be too heavy about anything. And kind of like, as I was like, as I was going through that, write it down again, I was like able to kind of form together what it meant after the fact. And it's kind of like meant to be like, haha, like you're looking for some sort of answer in the clouds, like you're not going to get it. Like, I don't know, not to get too deep into anything, but like, just sometimes life is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with that video, I wanted like that, the idea was everyone is kind of like off the clock at their 9 to 5 or like their job at, some corporation. And everyone was wearing all blue and I was wearing that red polo and the clock was like that, from The Big Comfy Couch. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of that, but that came from just the writing process of, thinking about, clocks and warping shapes. And it's just kind of a no brainer.
Is that your band?
No, well, Joey is the bass player.
Okay.
But Evan, who's playing the synths, is just a really close friend, and same with Abraham, just Nashville, cool people.
Okay. The keyboard guy knows how to shake his ass pretty
He
well.
really does. We had such a big laugh because he was like, all of the moments that I thought you guys wouldn't put in the video, you did.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah, he's so great.
Yeah. All right. So it's funny because it's to me the life can be funny, and that song hits a nerve where even probably when you wrote it, things weren't very funny for for a while.
Oh no,
You know what I mean?
Things were exhausting. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, there's no need to even go into that. We all know that it's been it's been a heavy time, and you want to have those kind of things where you can say life is funny, but it just hasn't been. So it's nice to be reminded of it. Is what I was going to say.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for saying that. Because I like I really like to give like people a little bit of a fresh perspective on something that can feel a little bit mundane or repetitive or caught in like a whirlpool of the same thinking. I think that's kind of why I strive to write in a way that feels weird or that feels funny, or because it's kind of nice to just be like, wow, and like kind of like a wake up version of what you've been hearing all the time. So yeah, it was even nice for me to like kind of get it on paper and be like, that's exactly how I feel, but haha, like, sometimes it's, just a little bit more abstract.
Yeah. All right. So, what did your parents do? What was their?
My dad worked in casinos.
Okay.
And my mom was like stay-at-home mom, but she had an embroidery business and always found a way to keep busy.
How did you kind of like? You seem like an artsy person, and like in one side of my family, on my mom's side, that's an accepted thing. But like on my dad's side, it was like, what is wrong with this person? You know what I'm
Oh, was he
saying?
like, gotta be a lawyer situation?
Oh yeah, it's just like, yeah, I'm 52 and he's still like, you know.
No,
You
he's
can't-
got to know.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
were you like a kid, like in the corner drawing and like doing imagination stuff and like reading more than other kids?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely didn't read a bunch, but I was kind of like, I was always busy, like being like, I could just entertain myself really, really well. So, and I didn't always like, I usually would have a couple friends, but did sports as well. But I wasn't necessarily like, I had someone say this to me recently where they're like, oh man, you must have been such a cool, wacky, or like a cool person growing up, like and really artsy in it.
Right.
Really wasn't. I was kind of just like always a little bit of an outcast. I was a cheerleader, like heavy into cheerleading, and I don't even really know why. When I look back on it, I just like kept going every year. It was fun, but it's just like, it's just funny to think about. I don't know at what, because I started at such a young age that I don't know. It's just the funniest, longest thing of my life that I was in. And I'm just like, it's hilarious to think about.
How long were you cheerleading?
I started like when I was probably 5 or something. And then it went all the way into like competitive cheerleading where I had like an 8-pack and could do backflips. And yeah, I kind of want to do it again, to be honest, where I'm like, dude, I wish I could do, I just want to like whip out a backflip or whip out some routines. I don't know. Maybe one day you'll see that happen.
Yeah, I would think that's amazing. I like acrobatic people.
Yeah.
It's important to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so you were cheerleading for a long time. Then what you were into Britney Spears before the photography class?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was like a first allowance. Bought her a CD. It's like probably around the same age, 5, 6, or I'm kind of winging these ages, but it feels like that sounds right. But yeah, I think it was just like her being such like a performer too. You know, she's just a really big influence. I saw her in concert, and I guess I just really liked the performance aspect of life. And like, I have so many pictures and videos of me as a kid that I would take. That's like part of me entertaining myself, is I'd like bring this big RCA type camera around and just like record things and like do dance routines in front of them. And that was like a big fun time of my life.
You're still doing that, like with the video.
It's true. I know. It's very
That's
true.
awesome.
Makes sense. I do.
So when the kid in the photography class turned you on to Nico, then you wanted to sing and make music, or
No, it was way before that. Just because I was doing Christian youth theater, like musicals and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I did a lot of that. And my first song that I ever tried out with was a Britney Spears song, which is so terrible to do at a Christian youth theater. You just probably pick a musical song, but all good.
they still liked you?
I think so.
Did you get parts? Like, were you in shows?
I was always kind of background. I never did I think I was really young too. And it was like an all age type thing. So usually, Princess Jasmine was like probably 17 and I was like 9 or 10.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you get when did this become something that you wanted to put your time and life into?
Definitely after Nico. I started writing. Actually, that's around the time that I wrote my first song. Was around that era where I was exploring kind of more meaningful music and, feeling kind of, I had a guitar and I asked my mom to get me some lessons. So yeah, I was just writing and then when I moved to New York, probably a couple years later, I brought my guitar and was there for modeling, but really think that I really wanted to just play music. I always really sought that out from the beginning of me moving there.
Mm-hmm. So, how did you get in modeling? Obviously, you're tall and cool looking. Yeah.
That started when we were in Vegas. My mom got me into it. I found a manager, and I got a couple agencies, or I got an agency in LA and New York. And then I was supposed to go there for a month in New York. And then I just didn't leave. My mom was like, I just told her I liked it. And, she told me that, I was 17 when I moved there, and she was like, part of my reasoning why I thought you could do that. Of course I had supervision as well, but she was like, if you sign anything, then it won't be legitimate or something. She had some like weird logic behind it. I just heard that. I'm like, nice.
So it went well. You were able to support yourself and be able to get out and like have the time to make music and.
Yeah. No, I mean, in my own way. I wasn't like, I was always very crafty about making money because modeling was not consistent. And I had a couple of real jobs. I worked at like a juice place for a little bit, and that was consistent. And you don't make a lot of money, but you can, pay for rent and eat and have a little bit of fun. And there was a year where I lived on a boat, and the cost of living on that was $500 a year. So, so because you just pay for the slip. So that was across in Hoboken, and at that time I had because I didn't really have to pay much. I got found this person who pays models to go to nightclubs. I just have to like stand there and around a table. With some other models. And so at this time I was raw vegan and I didn't drink. So I would like go to the nightclubs and it'd be kind of miserable, but I was making like $80 or something. And I just like kind of sit there, and I eventually got fired because my vibe was off. So
because your vibe was off?
Vibe was off. I wasn't.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Nah, they needed people to have fun, so I understood.
Yeah. What an odd sort of job, isn't that? Like when you think about that, like someone just hired me to go stand there, and I didn't look like I was having a good enough time, so I got fired.
I mean, it plays into the whole, like, I could like write a funny, sad song about that, how fun can be so easily manipulated, because people go there. It's just such a weird system. Like everyone should want to go somewhere to have fun, not force this, like, being pretty or whatnot and getting paid. It just kind of feels wrong or unnatural or something. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so when you played out, were you playing places like Rockwood or anything like that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played most of the places in New York. I mean, I think I did a lot of those, all of those venues in the East Village. I kind of just like would find someone who could book me a show, and I tried to keep it as consistent as possible. So yeah, all those I played.
Did you have a band and stuff, or was it just you? You did?
Yeah. I had a couple of different drummers, but the last one was by far my favorite. And then I, moved away. But yeah, so had a consistent band, we practice, and it's kind of like the most exciting part of living in New York was walking down the street where band practice was, because there's this ramen noodle factory on the corner, and you turn to get on the street and you just start smelling these dry noodles, and it's just the best feeling.
Yeah. Where was that? My friend Joseph had a rehearsal space underneath Max Fish.
Okay, yeah, that's in the East Village.
Yeah.
I was in this was in Bushwick. It was called Dan or something. But oh my gosh, so fun. I love that street.
So did you eventually like start having fun going out were you like,
Yeah, totally. I mean, I hope that I wasn't too harsh on that nightlife situation because everyone has fun in different ways. But I was more so, I like joined a pool league and would just go to dive bars and hang out with friends. And I was always kind of like a more so in the village type of vibe.
yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you this, like now that you put out this record, are you going to play out? Are you doing some shows?
Yeah, the first 3 shows are going to be New York, LA, Nashville.
Okay.
And I'm going to be playing with Zach with his band Half Noise. And then we have some other, for each place there'll be another person. So I'm really looking forward to that. It'll feel super cool.
Yeah. Where are you playing in New York?
Elsewhere.
Okay. I don't know that place.
It's new. It's well, kind of newer. When I moved, it felt new.
What
Yeah.
about in LA?
Goldfish.
Okay. I don't know that place either. What's going on?
Yeah.
I'm out of touch.
Gotta get back out there.
Did you go out and do any of this Americana Fest? Does that matter to you? That was happening this week in Nashville?
I didn't, not to say it matters or doesn't matter. Just cause traffic, but, yeah, no, not really. I did go to, Grimey's though. Have you ever heard of that record store here? It's really cool. It's kind of like I think I'm still learning a lot about Nashville and there's a lot of like very cool OG places here that everybody that I know has a story from. But Grimey's is just a really, really great record shop and they support, local artists from Nashville. And I went in there and I got crap. Why am I blanking her name? She plays the harp. Joanna Newsom.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard of her?
I have heard of her.
So I picked up that record recently during country, and it was so busy with just a bunch of like kind of middle-aged or different people that I wouldn't have expected being in there. But that was my own experience with the fest.
Yeah. Okay. I know a lot of people that I live in Austin, so there's a lot of people that were going there to play and stuff.
Oh, no way.
I saw a lot of Instagram stuff going on over there.
Are you from Austin?
Well, I've lived here for 30 years.
Cool.
So yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I feel like
I moved around like you too. But I didn't, I never lived in Vegas, but I lived in Lake Tahoe, which is kind of like the.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you go and you do these shows. You guys, you're on a label. On the same label as what was the name of the band that you just said? Half Noise. That's Zach's band.
Yep.
And so you guys have like a label collective?
It's Zach's label and it's called Congrats. He started it just to put his own music on, and then it's growing in such a cool way. And I'm really excited to be part of it. And yeah, that's.
How do you guys handle like what does the label provide for you outside of like a camaraderie and sort of like a shield of sorts?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Like are you guys like, do you guys have a distribution situation, or is, you know what I mean? Like, is there a lot of times independent labels can provide different things. They don't necessarily give you the budget to make a record, but they can have like in-house publicity and like, there's one here that's a booking agency as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure something like that happened. I just get emails from the team. So I know that what is it called? The publishing company, the publisher. I've gotten to work with Stunt Co., who's been really, really incredible. I actually don't know the details now that I think about it, because
that's all right.
They just kind of email me and are like, "This happened," and I'm like, "You're amazing. How do we?"
Yeah. I'm a musician too, and I'm always just kind of fascinated how people are doing it. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's no actual formula that can work for every situation, so it is fascinating. And I'm excited for like a new wave of like just more support for artists. especially in like situations like more indie music and whatnot. I kind of have I have a good feeling just based off of how much awareness is slowly being pushed into the world that like people don't make money from Spotify and
No.
So it's cool to see people who have different plans that benefit artists, and Congrats is definitely one of those.
Yeah. I've been seeing a surge of different style indie labels. There's one here that's a nonprofit, and it's kind of the only fully functioning nonprofit record label. And in the last like 2 years, they've put out 30 bands records.
Wow.
And they have everybody's volunteering though. So you know that at some point they either need to get some money or people are going to go get jobs somewhere. But it's so
Right.
cool to see that the people that really care about music, that really, really care are like putting their heart and soul into it to make it run, not just being musicians, but like forming companies to try and move all this stuff forward and get the word out about great artists.
And that's actually super fascinating too, because it seems like such a more successful approach because people are actually taking raw care, like genuine,
Yes.
desire to put something out in a way that's like, it's perceived to the world. So like it should be, rather than like, oh, maybe you should arrange how you're releasing this because this fan group will like, it's not so formulated.
Right.
So that's super cool. What is the name of that?
I just had them on my show. They're called Space Flight Records.
Ah, cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, you should.
Good.
They have one of the things that I noticed, and I guess just it's stupid to talk about this, but I had them on to kind of learn more about them because they're really doing cool shit. They have these it seems like they're building a community, and that's like what those indie labels are traditionally like 4AD and what's the one Sub Pop. They kind of propel these scenes and it creates this community and people tour together and they make records. You know what I mean? Like it just becomes like this very beautiful artistic community.
I mean, that's something that me living in Nashville versus New York, because there's not really a community there necessarily. There's a different kind of, from my experience, there's like a different form of working with people and hanging out with people. But I could not love living here more because all of my friends, first of all, are musicians. Not all of them, but most of them. And everyone plays on each other's stuff. And it's because we all support it, love it, and want everyone to do well.
Yeah.
There's not like, oh, this is no one's territorial. And you get to see a lot of really cool people blossom and learn and be in, different areas of, what they would normally be in, and myself included. Like I have sung background vocals on stuff, and I just feel very, my talents are useful.
Yeah.
And they're all, there's a good circulation of, feeling useful for your talent, which is great.
Yeah. And like the videos that you did with Zach and stuff, I thought like those were really, I feel like you're doing just really cool shit and you're like a real artist.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I have to, all right. So Zach and AJ are really big, a big part of that pot because we just sit around a table and we come up with these ideas together. And AJ is like just such an incredible editor and he's been co-directing everything. So I feel like without one of these people, if the whole group of people, if one was removed, it would not be, anything that it is. We just all work really well together. Another like really cool Nashville thing.
Yeah. That's, and that's also like a communal sort of like you're building your community. It is a team, but it's also almost like a family more than like, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that you guys will team up and do something with somebody else at some point. It seems like you would. It only seems natural,
and in our own ways too. Like there's definitely been like, I've like been like, use AJ as your editor, or Zach should take your, like, we all kind of just, together and separately are trying to achieve something. But I did have this really cool, we have where I'm sitting on our back porch right now, and we have a lot of hangs back here. And there was this one time where this girlfriend of someone's was visiting. It's my first time meeting her. And she's like, so how is all of your creative stuff coming along? And like, I look around the table of everyone who's there, and it's literally AJ who edits. It's Bree who took my album cover. It's Nick who helped mix. It's like, and Joey who played bass. I'm just like, and this is just a regular hang. And I'm just like, man, that was just such a cool moment. And it was the first time that I even thought about like, hot damn, like I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
It's really a cool feeling. And in Essential, like versus like my first EP and my second EP, it was all so like, I got to do it all on my own. And I don't think I'm in any area coming up in my artistic career where I would want to go back to that. This is just wonderful.
What was it about that made you feel like you had to do it all on your own, do you think?
Well, first of all, I didn't have the big community or big outreach of people that I could, get the person to play saxophone or,
Right,
I just kind of was like, I'm going to use every tool that I've ever learned and apply it to this music. And I don't have a giant toolkit to do the piano, and I play chords on guitar. So that's why a lot of the older stuff is quite minimal.
Yeah, I liked that stuff, but definitely like this record is like has a vision, and it stretches out a little bit. It's still not over the top, overproduced. Like it's just a little bit more orchestrated.
Yeah, and that's important too with working with Zach, because he is he's just really intuitive with when it comes to space, and like it's easy to get caught up in something because it's sounding so good, and you could think of all the wonderful things that it needs, but both of us together are practical in that way. But he definitely was just like a big helping hand in that. Just being able to, you don't really need to, in this case, you don't need to follow every dream and complete it. It just kind of was like, this is all it needs. And, we've made it kind of quickly. So
yeah,
that's how it happened.
Well, man, there's no song I don't like on the album.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's really like, I've sent the link to it on Spotify to some family members and stuff today. Just like, man, check this out. I don't really do that all the time when I have guests on, but this is just this record is really special, and you seem like a really special artist, and your partnership with Zach seems to have really paid off, like creatively,
Thanks for saying that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. You seem like the kind of artist of like a Bowie caliber, that you'll always be challenging yourself and growing and moving like fluidly through music and styles and genres. And I think you'll, like, as long as you keep like this, whatever it is that your open heart or whatever, to be able to tap into all these different things, man, you're always going to be just an amazing artist.
Crap.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of people out there making music this good. It's like there's all these different things that you hear in it, and it's not like you ripped something off, but you get like, oh, this person has the same kind of sensibilities as like a really cool Talking Heads record, Yeah. And yeah, and same with like Nico and Bowie, and like, to be able to have fun on a song like I Can Help and stuff like that, and kind of have like this levity and know that you're that you're too smart to be that happy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So okay, so you go and do these 3 shows in these 3 cities, and then what happens?
hopefully tour.
Yeah.
I don't know how that
You jump in a
looks.
van?
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. Not to say that I don't want to sound picky, but I've never toured before. So I'm kind of just like, I don't know. I feel confident that, hopefully something comes my way. If not, I don't know. It's weird to think about. I think I would need to have to weigh out an opportunity, right? Like maybe if the van, how my brain works, if the van is like, but you're touring with like, a really great artist, but it's going to be worth it. You'll sell t-shirts. I'd be like, okay, fine, I can do it. But if it was like, what if it was like a really big artist, but they were kind of a jerk and I get to sleep in hotel rooms, right? Don't you?
Well, there's I'm 52 and I've been a musician, like playing in places where people have to pay to get in since I was like 16. And there's three things about a gig, and two of the three things have to be fulfilled. And one of them is great hang, like great people.
Yeah. Yes.
The other one is great music. And then the other one is money. So
Okay.
as long as two of those boxes are checked, I'm pretty cool.
Two, that makes sense. Because I could actually even like be down with bad music, like, or not my style of music. Yeah, I kind of like thought about that a long time ago and was like, I don't like if Blink-182, or no, sorry, I don't think of someone so big, or like some sort of band that's on my level. That makes sense. And their music was just a different style, but we get along and money.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of the way, I mean, I still live in an apartment, but.
I mean, you got to do what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's not really, I'm such a big fan of like feeling richness from doing exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
That'll pay off in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah. What are you still physically active? Do you do any kind of thing?
Like
on a regular
exercise?
basis? Yeah. Like some kind of.
Yeah. I rollerblade.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. We have this air park here. And I rollerblade around that. It's flat. I'm not like I'm going to do a backwards rollerblade. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's exercise, and hiking is super important. Yeah, just trying to keep it kind of easy on the running is just like kind of like, why am I doing this for half an hour and like hate it?
Yeah.
It's literally the worst feeling.
Yeah.
Why do I do it? Yeah. What about you?
I walk. I used to run, and now I walk. Like on tour, that was the best way for me to be able to sit in a van all around America all day, every day.
Yeah, the trade-off feels super important. Yeah. I would want to go. I would want to do something because walking because you probably need to do something in a short amount of time too, because walking probably takes longer. Very smart.
Yeah, but I do walk now. I live on. Have you ever been to Austin?
I haven't.
Okay, well, there's a lake in the middle of the city, and I live like right in the downtown area, and there's like 9 miles of trail on the lake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever go out on the lake?
Yeah, I got a paddleboard. My girlfriend and I got inflatable paddleboards.
Stop. I've always wanted to get a paddleboard.
It's so cool. It is so cool. Yeah, it's been really hot, and we just got a dog. Oh, and we both had COVID like a month ago. Yeah.
Sorry.
Even though we're both vaccinated. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, good.
I mean,
I've heard all sorts of different types of reactions.
Yeah, we were lucky, and we were vaccinated, so it wasn't. I mean, losing your sense of taste and smell is weird. I felt like I had eaten mushrooms or something for like 3 days.
Whoa.
I was totally.
Did you get it back?
Yeah, I got it back.
Okay,
I got it back
nice.
after like a week. As soon as I tested negative, I was able to start tasting and smelling a bit.
Good. Yeah, I know. I have some friends who are still kind of working like months and months after that are like, I can kind of taste salt, or it's things slowly come back. It's like, dang, such a weird thing.
Have you been able to avoid the?
Yes. It's like weird because why? I heard something about like blood. Oh crap! I don't want to like start talking about dumb stuff because I don't have facts.
Right.
My whole idea is I would like to know why I haven't got it. What, I don't know. Is it coming soon?
I'll tell you this one thing, Kayla, that was real weird. And only one other person that got it was like, I totally felt like that too. I've been really careful. Like the whole thing, I've just been in this apartment live streaming. I'm in a band that's like 7 people, and we had to get together and do some stuff. But we were really safe. Like today we practiced. I just got back from practice, and it was, masks on in the little room and everything the whole time. And I was very careful and very diligent. And when I got it, I was fucking relieved. Like I had this relief, like finally, now I don't have to worry about catching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was this weird, like it was huge, like the relief. It was really weird.
No, it's kind of similar to how I'm feeling. Like, why haven't I got, there's a pressure where you're just like, I understand that because like, it's so, especially at the beginning and even the middle of it, and even kind of now too, even though there's like more studies and you hear more information, but like, you're just like living in so much fear that I totally get feeling like, and of course we know that you're like, you have antibodies. So like, once you're over the sick part, you're like kind of Superman for a second.
I feel like I did like the month after I got vaccinated. Like, kiss me. Like I played last night with this friend of mine's band, and this friend of mine walked in that I haven't seen the whole time, and he was like putting his fist out, and I was like, really? Come on, dude. Like, let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. A pound. I can't stand the pound. I need a hug.
Yeah. I'm tired of pounding.
Yeah.
What's it like there? Is it you're in the South too?
Yeah, I'm sure it's similar to there too, because Austin's still like, I've never been, but progressive.
Austin is progressive, but surrounded by not so.
That's here.
Yeah.
That's 100% here. It's like, it's so crazy because we like to go on drives. And we'll go like maybe 30 minutes outside of Nashville. It's just so incredibly night and day. Just like, Trump flags out there. And then in here, it's just like all sorts of like everybody's neighborhood has some sort of like progressive sign in their front yard, which is incredible. But then I'm slowly learning about like, the governor here and kind of some of the more local ways to get involved. And you're up against a very big fight.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. We have crazy stuff going on here.
Yeah. I'm not super like in tune with everything. I just know that I really enjoy my neighborhood and all the neighborhoods in Nashville because it's progressive and people are super cool.
Yeah. I used to play at this place there all the time called Third and Lindsley. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Is that a venue?
Yep.
Hey, Third and Lindsley. Wait, I feel like I was just told about this recently. Is it still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. A friend of mine that I played with there a bunch of times played there during Americana Fest and took a picture.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. It was like, look at that place.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. Well,
like
he said it was our place because we got into a physical fight.
I knew you were going to say that for some reason before you even said it.
This was like almost 20 years ago. I was a lot funnier back then. So was he. But yeah. We pushed each other and he took a picture of the area.
That's such a good memory when you have a friend, like a long-term friend like that, and you can just laugh about your big years.
That's what happens on tour though, man. That's what happens. Yeah, there was too many late nights. Everyone was hungover all day, every day for like a week. And then I can't even remember. It might have been like, I'm going to get a hamburger with no cheese. And I was like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
It's just like normal. Like if that didn't happen, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Back to back madness.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you able to avoid having like you seem like a fairly stable human being, like a person that's not haunted by too many demons?
Oh, you mean like like lust and whatnot?
Lust? No, I mean like insanity. Like,
insanity. Okay.
Or like
okay,
rage and anger or like
yeah, no, I'd say I'm pretty normal. I mean, I don't want to use the word normal, but maybe more so like I try to stay as balanced as possible. I still like music being the biggest outlet. But yeah, I have my quirks. Definitely like to have things that take the edge off every once in a while. Love a good cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also really try to do things like that are outdoors and like I said, things that enrich you in ways that can make you feel like, or that do make you feel like, you know, every day is kind of good.
Yeah.
Like I really like finding the little things that, because the big things are few and far between that are really lovely, but there's just so many lovely things.
Yeah.
Every day. So I really try and, you know, find them, write about them, and then have a cocktail at the end of the night.
Yeah. Well, I ask because it's difficult to be anybody in show business that has a light shining on them. You know, it's just an odd place to be, and you have to be kind of a weird person to want to be in that position. You know,
Right.
There's got to be something a little wrong with you, and but it's even weirder for a woman because of objectification and really uncomfortable situations you can be put in with business people, and
Absolutely.
you add modeling to that, and I know that that's a world that just is not. It doesn't build you up. It doesn't build up your self-esteem.
No, especially then too. It was like 2011. Right now, I'm like kind of proud of modeling because it seems like so much more, you know, diverse with sizes and just casting.
Yeah,
seems like a cool place to be.
But you came in on the tail end of like, hey, don't get any fatter.
Yeah, totally. Like still like, you know, everyone was like lose pounds. Like just so it was quite intense, but I didn't last very long anyway, so it wasn't. Kind of just wasn't my thing anyways, which is why I brought the guitar. I just like New York in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think probably the kid thing, like always wanting to perform and you can't perform without the audience.
Yeah.
And I've always just felt that way. And it's the only thing that I can really.
Oh shit. You cut out.
Definitely.
You said it was the only thing you can, and then you froze. What did you say?
That I can do with like full confidence.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Just gotta chase it.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when you talk to people that aren't in it and don't do that, they're like, I could never do what you do, and you're like, dude, I could never go into an office. I can fill out some kind of form.
Yes, I would do it like for a day to be like, oh, this is what it's like, and then like never go back.
I heard somebody say the other day that you can prove somebody's celebrity by asking them to fill out a form and see if they can do it or not.
Oh, that's so good.
Like,
that's so good.
Do you ever have that, like when you're going to fill something out and you're like,
You're like, what is this number?
I don't understand this. Like,
that's so true.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Especially for the artists, man. We're you know, special breed. But Kayla, it's been really great meeting you.
Oh man, you too.
Yeah, if you guys ever come to Austin, man, please look me up and we could do another one of these in person. I'd love to come see you play in real life.
Yeah, please. I'll keep in touch with you.
Yeah, this record, No Pain for Us Here, is definitely one of my favorite records of the year. And yeah, I'll sing its praises and listen to it as much as I can.
That means a lot, Johnny. Thanks so much.
Yeah, is there anything I'm missing?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, tell Zach he did a really great job. You guys did a great job together.
I'll let them know.
Yeah, and congratulations.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
See you. That's Kayla Graninger, who plays under the name ELKE. The album No Pain for Us Here is available now wherever it is you stream and download your jams. Available on Congrats Records. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her wherever you stream and download music. You can find her on YouTube. That's ELKE. Great, great, great record, man. I love it. I love talking to her, too. What a cool person. Very, very cool person. I love that video for I Can Help. I love the song I Can Help. So you'll hear the rest of it as soon as I stop talking. But hey, gang, when you're out there checking out ELKE on all the streaming services, don't forget that you can subscribe to How Did I Get Here? Basically wherever you find music and podcasts and anything else. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Overcast, Stitcher, all the places you find podcasts. This week we're doing 3 shows a week. Normally shows drop on Tuesdays and Fridays. It's How Did I Get Here? You can also find us on Facebook. How Did I Get Here? That's our Facebook page. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Johnny Gowdy. Follow me. Say hi. Share the show. Tag us in it. Do what you can. Come on, man. ELKE's great. I hope you enjoyed getting to know ELKE. I sure did. Kayla's a really, really talented artist and a very, very cool person. Here's the rest of the song. I can help. I love this song. All right. I'll talk to you on Friday. Have a great rest of the week. Let's get down.
My clock looks a bit mad. I bet the repairman will say it just got wet, and then will tell me insurance won't cover that. Then he'll sell me a refurbished replacement. Or a small remedy to remind me then and again to take time to breathe. You know, the deep breaths that take you to the sea and back, not just the ones that keep ticking. And suddenly I see a white glow from the way. Spend at the beach, at the edge of where the water comes and leaves. I exhale and where I'm at is just my apartment. Check it out, I learn how to breathe.